Liverpool transfer drama is heating up. Marc Guehi's preference is revealed. An urgent Conor Bradley replacement is being considered, and the Reds move closer to signing Diomande. Plus, Roberto Firmino drops the truth on Salah and Mane, and Xabi Alonso to Man U talks sparks debate. Liverpool transfer news. Marc Guehi preference emerges as Conor Bradley replacement considered. Today's Liverpool FC transfer news sees new names join familiar faces in the rumor mill. With just under 3 weeks until the transfer window slams shut, it never swings closed gently, does it? There is still plenty of time left for Liverpool to make moves to strengthen a squad that has, so far at least, underperformed in a post-title winning season. Those pesky in-the-knows continue to forecast a quiet January, but two former Reds have had their say on their ideal windows over the weekend. Liverpool great John Barnes considers Arne Slot's options good enough and has warned against any stopgap moves in January. At this time of the season, Barnes says, you're not going to be able to bring in the best players. Contrastingly, Stefan Henschas has suggested Manuel Akanji as a Marc Guehi alternative and even pipped former academy player Harry Wilson for a free transfer return to Anfield. Of course, the biggest news today deals with Xabi Alonso's dismissal from the Real Madrid hot seat, with Alonso widely reported to have been considered for the Liverpool job before Slot's appointment. Speculation about the Dutchman's future has quieted somewhat after an 11-game unbeaten run. More importantly for the transfer gremlins here at Echo Towers, the change of approach in Madrid could have a few knock-on effects on the market. And here, we'll break down the plausible, the unlikely, and the ridiculous in your roundup of the latest gossip and rumors on Liverpool's transfer dealings. Another day, another Marc Guehi update, and there's a lot to unpack here. Despite a shaky performance on Saturday as the FA Cup holders crashed out against 6th-tier Macclesfield FC, the Crystal Palace captain is a hot commodity, and last week saw Arsenal join Liverpool and Manchester City in the mix for his services. Palace, for their part, have indicated a willingness to sell the contract rebel for the right price this window, and The Guardian on Friday reported that price to be around the 40 million mark. In the report, published to announce Bukayo Saka's new contract, yet to be confirmed by the club but widely considered accurate, the newspaper also revealed that Arsenal are more likely to approach Guehi for a free transfer rather than attempt to sign him this month. Mick Brown, former chief scout at Manchester United, again blessed us with his insight on Saturday's Inside Track podcast from Football Insider. Brown said, Palace have resigned themselves to that as well, that they are happy to keep him and let him walk out on a free as well. So unless City do come up with a big offer which is too good to turn down, I don't think Palace will be in any rush to let him go. The lack of movement certainly could suggest Palace are prepared to let their prized asset leave for free. It could also suggest City and/or Liverpool are playing a prolonged game of chicken to try to snap up the defender for a cut price closer to the end of the window. The Athletic's Sam Lee offered a tantalizing update on the Let Me Talk podcast via the Daily Express on Sunday. Lee said, on Monday night, I was told by somebody who knows what's going on at City, but also I think probably Palace as well. He said he thinks Guehi wants to stay until the summer, and he prefers Liverpool to City in any case. Somebody else messaged me on Twitter, and I know he's very good on other club stuff. He was like, yeah, he wants to stay until the summer, and he prefers Liverpool and Arsenal. I was like, well, I haven't heard Arsenal, but that kind of tallies what I've been told the night before. Transfer guru Fabrizio Romano echoed Lee's assessment on YouTube via Rousing the Cop on Sunday, with Liverpool really pushing for a commitment from Guehi for the summer, despite City planning to try this week, to secure him in a January transfer. This was corroborated today by David Ornstein of The Athletic, who pointed to the financial implications of a January move for Guehi. The centre-half will be able to demand a sizable signing-on fee if he runs down his deal and will be seeking a financial incentive to make the move early, along with the inflated fee Palace are seeking. There could yet be a late twist, however, with Sky Germany's Florian Plettenberg confirming that Bayern Munich's sporting director Max Eberle has held phone calls with Guehi's team over a move to the Bundesliga, having previously met with the player's agent, with an open race developing for his signature. Ornstein also commented on the future of Ibrahima Konate, with his update concerning, but unsurprising. The Frenchman is still expected to leave Liverpool at the expiry of his current contract in the summer, with no progress made on a new deal. As such, centre-back will be the priority for Richard Hughes & co. heading into the summer. With injuries stacking up, many fans would argue Liverpool needs a defender for the here and now, but FSG have a history of waiting for the right target, so unless City back up their interest with a bid, it is unclear whether Liverpool will get involved for Guehi this window. Bradley Barcola stalling on new contract. The coveted PSG star Bradley Barcola has been linked to Liverpool since Luis Diaz left the club last summer. Reports last week suggest that the winger won't be on the move this January, but the Parisian side could look to sell him in the summer, with the player reportedly unhappy with his game time under manager Luis Enrique. On Friday, RMC Sport reported that Barcola had been offered a contract, but his new representatives have not yet responded to this offer, having seen negotiations with the player's previous agents stall ahead of last summer. Reportedly, the verdict on this latest offer will also influence PSG's next transfer window, suggesting the club could look to cut their losses while Barcola still has 2 years left on his existing deal. PSG do, however, have a strong desire to keep Barcola, who hasn't requested a transfer yet but is understood to be considering his options. Caught Offside claimed on Saturday that Liverpool are understood to be showing the strongest interest in a potential transfer move for Barcola, quoting one unnamed source who indicated the player's decision could hinge on the future of the manager. The source said, Barcola has struggled to play regularly under Luis Enrique, but he'll be leaving in the summer, so a new manager in theory could give Barcola a more key role. Liverpool's interest is very strong, and if his situation doesn't improve, he'll surely be open to the move, but the manager situation is one to watch. Fabrizio Romano, however, counterclaimed on Sunday on his YouTube channel via Rousing the Cop that reports of Enrique leaving are premature. Reds linked with Serie A defender. A new name in the mix this week is Spanish defender Jacobo Ramon, who plays at centre-half at Serie A Como. Fabregas's side sits 6th in Serie A, just 5 points outside the Champions League spots. Ramon has been key to a defense that has shipped just 13 goals in 19 games so far. Caught Offside claimed on Sunday that Liverpool have been monitoring the Spain under-21 international since December, along with Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Newcastle, Brighton, and Crystal Palace are also said to have sent scouts to watch Ramon.
Roberto Firmino revealed truth about Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane relationship at Liverpool. The once fabled Liverpool front three routinely showed their on-field chemistry, but behind-the-scenes relations were not always warm between Salah and Mane, something Firmino has acknowledged. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane will renew acquaintances when the pair meet in Wednesday's Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON, semi-final between Egypt and Senegal. The pair once spearheaded Liverpool's potent attacking threat during Jurgen Klopp's heyday, with the wingers typically providing the majority of the team's goals from the wide areas, either side of the more selfless Roberto Firmino in the center. Salah and Mane, who shared a dressing room together for 6 years at Anfield and helped the club win every piece of silverware available, did have a somewhat fractured relationship during their time on Merseyside. That most memorably came to the fore during a Premier League win over Burnley in 2019, when Mane complained that Salah had failed to pass him the ball. Firmino, the glue that held that devastating front three together, wrote about Salah and Mane's difficult relationship in his autobiography, Si Senor. They were never best friends. The three of us had very different personalities. Mane the most explosive. My role was as peacemaker, unifier, claimed the Brazilian. It was rare to see the two of them talking, but they never severed ties, always acted with the utmost professionalism. Meanwhile, Salah addressed the issue in an interview with L'Équipe last year. Yes, there was tension with Sadio, the Egyptian said. Mind you, we were professional until the end. I don't think it affected the team. It's human to want more. I understand that he's a competitor. Off the pitch, we weren't very close, but we always respected each other. However, Mane downplayed his disagreements with Salah when speaking to Rio Ferdinand in November. Great player, good player.
Great player. Everybody say the same, that there was a rivalry, usually, said the now Al Nassr forward. But I don't think it's a bad thing. In me, I'm someone who is quiet, but I'm friendly with everybody in the team. I'm like this. So I think Mo is also a very nice guy. He's a nice guy. I think, though, inside the pitch, you can see sometimes he passes to me, sometimes he doesn't pass to me. But only Bobby was there to share the ball. Salah and Mane also have shared history at AFCON, with the latter beating his then Liverpool teammate in the 2021 final. The winner of the clash between Egypt and Senegal in Tangier on Wednesday will go on to face either Nigeria or hosts Morocco in Sunday's final.
Liverpool move one step closer to signing Diomande. Liverpool's fans have made it clear that they expect the Reds' results to improve as soon as possible. Arne Slot's men may be on a bit of an unbeaten run at the moment, but that doesn't excuse the fact that they're not 14 points adrift of first-placed Arsenal. When the 2025-26 season first kicked off, most fans were excited about what the campaign had in store for them, especially since they spent over $450 million on upgrading their squad. And even though they won their first 5 Premier League games of the season, since then their form has dropped off massively, which has resulted in fans demanding that more firepower gets added to their ranks. This has resulted in several rumors emerging, and now the Anfield outfit could be one step closer to signing one of their dream targets. RB Leipzig, close to signing Souleymane Sani. Souleymane Sani will almost certainly be a player that most Liverpool fans won't have heard of. However, the only thing that matters about the Nigerian to the Reds fans is that he plays in the same position that Diomande does for RB Leipzig. Diomande is one of many transfer targets that Liverpool have been linked with, and with Sani on the verge of agreeing a deal with the Bundesliga outfit, the attacker could be free to move. A fresh update from Sky Germany journalist Florian Plettenberg has shared, via his personal X account, that the Bundesliga outfit are in agreement with AS Trenchen over a move for Sani. RB Leipzig are on the verge of signing Souleymane Sani, he wrote. Leipzig are principally in agreement with the 19-year-old winger, and talks with AS Trenchen are currently focused on final details. Negotiations between the clubs are well advanced. Realistic transfer fee is expected to be in the region of 5 to 7 million euros. Sani is planned to join in the winter window and is seen internally as a move ahead of the summer. Leverkusen were also in the race. Diomande would be a perfect addition for Liverpool. Diomande and Antoine Semenyo are the two attackers who have most frequently been linked with a Liverpool move this season. Both players have a lot to offer Liverpool, and since Semenyo has now joined Manchester City, it seems like the Reds have had their target chosen for them. The 2025-26 campaign is Diomande's first in the Bundesliga, and he's already making his name well known. He's played 16 games across all competitions and has contributed to 11 goals thus far. The attacker can play on either wing, and since he's only 19 years old, he has plenty of time to develop into an even better player than he already is. It's clear that Liverpool are planning for the future with their transfer targets over the last 12 months or so, and since Diomande already has some experience in the Bundesliga, there isn't really a better player for them to target than the Ivorian.
Liverpool transfer ruled out as urgent Conor Bradley replacement search underway. Liverpool are said to be exploring multiple right-back options in the January transfer window after Conor Bradley sustained a season-ending injury against Arsenal. Liverpool are not eyeing Borussia Dortmund's right-back Julian Ryerson as a potential replacement for the injured Conor Bradley, according to Sky Sports. The Reds are reportedly exploring various options in this winter transfer window to cover for the Northern Ireland international. Barcelona are another club rumored to be interested in the Norwegian international, while links with Sunderland and Wolverhampton Wanderers date back to the summer. Daniel Bonyaki, Oscar Mingueza, and Vanderson are among the other defenders linked with Liverpool since the weekend. Bradley will miss the rest of the season after suffering a serious knee injury during the goalless draw against Arsenal, with surgery scheduled in the coming days. The Athletic suggests that the club is hopeful he will recover in time for preseason training this summer. They also report that Liverpool won't be making a permanent signing to fill Bradley's void. However, the publication did not rule out the possibility of Liverpool bringing in a replacement on loan. This approach is also said to apply to long-term absentees Alexander Isak and Giovanni Leone. Leone is similarly out for the season after tearing a cruciate ligament in his left knee during the League Cup third-round victory against Southampton at Anfield in September. Isak is also out indefinitely with a fractured fibula and ankle injury sustained during last month's 2-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur. Arne Slot shared his thoughts on Bradley after the team's defeat of Barnsley. He describes the injury as a big blow for the team and also reflects on the player's recent progress. Slot said, "First of all, let's talk about him because Trent Alexander-Arnold is leaving, and Conor Bradley already replaced him a few times last season really well, and the year before I came, he also had a good spell. He felt, and I felt the same, that this is going to be your time. And he missed so many games already because of mainly hamstring issues, and coming back from that and being in the team, progressing, getting better and better, staying fit, then something like this happens. In a season before it started where he thought, this has to be my season, and I thought the same, to maybe play 6, 7, or 8 games is a big blow for him. And I also think about Northern Ireland trying to reach the World Cup. So it is an enormous blow for him. But as a result of that, it is a big blow for us as well, because I hope you don't think I would like to play Dominic Szoboszlai as a right full-back." Slot added, "Jeremy Frimpong, he has to play a lot of minutes and has just come back from injury, having missed 3 or 4 months and not a lot of playing time. I liked him as well today, by the way. But I have to make sure he can play at the weekend, and then we go to Marseille, and then we go to Bournemouth. It is 9 games in January with 6 defenders available, so I have to manage him the right way, and I have to give enormous compliments to the players that are fit that we are 11 games unbeaten." Man United urged to move heaven and earth for Xabi Alonso as Liverpool point made. Manchester United have been encouraged to pursue Xabi Alonso as their next permanent manager after the former Liverpool midfielder left Real Madrid. Manchester United have been urged to consider Xabi Alonso as their next permanent manager in the summer. Alonso is currently without a job after parting ways with Real Madrid, a development confirmed by the club. Real Madrid announced that Alonso's departure from Santiago Bernabeu was a mutual agreement, a decision made less than a day after the team's 3-2 loss to arch-rivals Barcelona in the Spanish Super Cup final. Alonso had only taken the reins at Madrid last summer following Carlo Ancelotti's exit, and the club has already named former Liverpool defender Alvaro Arbeloa as his successor. Prior to his appointment at Real, Alonso was briefly rumored to be in line for the top job at Liverpool back in 2024, before the Reds chose Arne Slot as their new head coach. United have been searching for a new manager since Ruben Amorum's exit last week, with Michael Carrick expected to take over temporarily until the end of the season, reports the Manchester Evening News. While Alonso's 5-year stint as a player at Liverpool has sparked rumors of a return to Anfield, sports broadcaster Richard Keys thinks United should not be deterred and has urged them to make a move for the ex-Real boss this summer. "Perfect. United should move heaven and earth to appoint Xabi Alonso," Keys posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. "And don't tell me his time at Liverpool rules him out. Sir Matt Busby played for them and Manchester City." Alonso previously spoke about his bond with Liverpool when he turned out for the Merseyside club in a charity fixture in 2022. "Once a Red, always a Red," Alonso said at the time. "It's not a logo. I think it's a reality. Not just my case, I think that most of us feel really close to the club. Wherever you are in the world, Liverpool fans remember you and they keep you closer to the club. That's the best thing of Liverpool, all the support and all the family that's around the world." United's upcoming fixture sees them face Manchester City in the Premier League this Saturday for the Manchester Derby, with the Red Devils hoping to have Carrick on the touchline for the clash. Darren Fletcher stepped into the interim role at United after Amorum's departure, overseeing a 1-1 stalemate with Burnley in the Premier League before suffering a defeat at the hands of Brighton in the FA Cup third round.